Hello everyone, it's Reji. I have a new idea here for you guys today. I often find myself stuck in a place to where I have a thought about something and I don't really know if there's any good context that I can post it in. So what I've decided to do is make a new series called Reji Rants. This is a little bit different from the real talk videos or the vlog videos. What I'm trying to do with this series is when I have a raw thought, I don't really want to edit these videos. I just kind of want to put my opinion out there and see what other people's reactions are, what they think about it. So I haven't thought of a better title, but I am going to call it Reji's Rants. That's the best I've come up with for now, and moving forward I'll probably change it if I can think of something more clever, but for now that's what it's going to be. Today's topic of discussion is going to be the Warcraft movie. Also, I might add that these videos are going to have stuff up on the screen for you to watch, but it's probably best used as background noise, so you can go on about your business, do whatever you want to do, clean the apartment, clean the home, put the kids to bed, whatever it may be. So I've heard a awful lot of criticism about the Warcraft movie, and the thing is that I need to say before I go into it that I am a Warcraft fan. I've played the game World of Warcraft for 11 years. I played Warcraft Orcs and Humans. I've played every expansion in Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3, which was amazing. I honestly, I miss those RTS days, I really do. So with that out of the way, I've heard a lot of criticism about the Warcraft movie. A lot of it's negative, and it kind of caught me off guard, but maybe that's because my views clouded a little bit because I am a fan. So I kind of want to put these talking points out here to see what you guys think. And if you disagree with me, honestly, I highly encourage that you comment your opinion so that I can see it from someone else's perspective, and maybe that'll help, it'll help me see why people would think what they do. Now, I have three main talking points here, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of criticisms, but I've narrowed it down to three rather big ones. Hopefully you agree. If not, again, this is all my opinion. The first one being the CGI. Now, what really bothers me is that people are criticizing this particular thing. There's actually three talking points here under the CGI. One of the biggest ones I've seen is the orcs. Now, a lot of people are comparing them to the Tolkien universe's orcs, and that really bothers me because I'm a big fan of the Tolkien universe. Excuse me. And I love the movies, and I love the books even more. I'm a huge nerd, and as you all know, as most of you know, I read a crap ton of books. I've read a lot of Stephen King books. I've read all of the Tolkien books, to include The Hobbit, and I think I've read every Warcraft book, to include the newest one that came out, Warcraft Chronicles, which is fantastic, guys. Pick it up if you're a fan of the lore and the Warcraft universe. Anyway, the CGI here. So people are comparing this orcs to the Tolkien universe orcs, and namely because they represented them with real people in the movie renditions. And if you're familiar with the Tolkien universe, if you have read the books, if you've gone beyond the movies, you know that for the most part, the representation of the orcs in the movies was pretty good. I mean, not everyone's happy with it, but I, personally thought it wasn't bad. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It didn't bother me at all. But it's not really a fair criticism to compare the two, because not only do both have different art styles, both take place in different universes, and how many 9 to 10 foot tall, muscle-bound actors do you know that can actually play these roles? Let alone, they would still have to have a lot of prosthetics. And the orc frame, though it does resemble a human one, it's too larger than life, guys. Warcraft is a hyper-fantasy, lore-rich universe, and it's not... There's no humans that just fit that bill. I mean, even in the off chance that you can find enough of these bastards to fill those roles, the prosthetics alone are just... It's not really a smart endeavor to try to put prosthetics on people and make it look good. Honestly, if they went that route, it would look worse than the CGI. Again, that's my opinion, but I really do believe that. Now, I'd like to add that people are also criticizing that the orcs are cartoony looking. It's like, well, again, the same response. It's the Warcraft universe. It's not Tolkien's universe, and Warcraft has always been slightly cartoony, or I wouldn't even say childish. It has its own specific art style and look, and that's fine, guys. There's honestly no issue with that. And the audience, the people who are criticizing it, I really feel like they're ignorant. It's an ignorant criticism, because most of them, I can guarantee that the majority of the base that's making that criticism is not super familiar with the Warcraft universe, whether it may be the Warcraft RTS or the World of Warcraft, and that alone should prove that criticism isn't really fair. Again, the orcs, they're meant to be cartoony, and I know that we've only seen maybe 3-minute snippets of the actual movie itself, but from what I've personally seen, I think that the orcs have remained very faithful to what they look like in the Warcraft universe, and they're supposed to be that much bigger than the humans, so it looks fantastic. I mean, you have a scene in one of the trailers where it shows Lothar next to an orc, or it shows him taking out an orc, and he's a lot bigger than Lothar. And guys, Lothar is a big human in the lore. Lothar is muscle bound, wears heavy armor, and you know, he's a beast of a man, and even him next to an orc is dwarfed. So that's honestly, I really don't think that's a fair criticism to say that the orcs don't look lifelike enough, or they should have been played by people. It should have been played by actors and not made CGI. So those are my thoughts on what people are saying about the orcs. Now, moving on is the dwarves. Now, the dwarves were recently shown in the two latest TV spots, and it was really short, guys. I mean, in one of them, all you do is see a dwarf firing a gun, and then in the second one, you see a dwarf talking to Lothar, who proceeds to fire the gun. I think there's a dwarf walking around in the background, but again, it's just people are saying, well, what about the dwarves? You can hire actors to play the dwarves. Surely they did it in The Hobbit, and those people weren't even dwarf size. Again, maybe this one there's a little bit more wiggle room for criticism, and I can understand it. But I kind of think that this falls back on the whole art style of the Warcraft universe. They really wanted to make it as faithful as possible, and the director made a theatrical decision to make them CGI because he felt personally that they would look better and they look more like the Warcraft dwarves if they CGI'd them in. And I mean, again, my opinion is skewed because I'm a Warcraft fanboy, but I think the dwarves look wonderful in the trailer, and it's not enough dwarf to honestly to say that it looks good or bad. At least that's what I think. I think we've seen enough orcs to make that decision, but the dwarves, it's not so much. It's too short, it's too quick. You can pause the frame and it looks wonderful, but I mean, I think I'm gonna leave that criticism until I've actually seen the film itself. I get why people would say that for this one though, because they are smaller characters and it is more feasible to hire an actor for that role. But again, I just feel that Duncan Jones himself, guys, he's a very big fan of Warcraft, and he's made that quite clear. And that's the director I'm talking about, by the way. He posts often on Twitter snippets from the movie. He retweets everything that is Warcraft movie related, and I just absolutely love his set pictures that he posts. I mean, I'll put them up on the screen right now, and he's posted quite a bit of pictures from the set. I don't know if this is a regular thing for directors to do for movies that are really hyped up, but I don't think so. But I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong because I don't follow many movies as closely, though I'm a big fan of movies. So I don't know, guys. My opinion on the dwarfs is just that maybe we need to see a little bit more of them. And again, I really feel that Duncan Jones, being a fan directing this movie, if he thinks that they look better in CGI, then it's probably true, guys. It really is. I mean, most of us don't know all the technical things that go into directing. Let's be honest here. So I'm gonna trust his call on this one. Now, the final criticism under the CGI category, it really kind of hurts my brain, to be honest with you, because I do not comprehend this criticism. And if you have a counter argument, please, by all means, post it in the comment section below, because this one's driving me nuts. The third criticism is that the CGI is not up to par. It doesn't look good enough. It's balls. What? You've got to be kidding me. And the reason I say that is because when James Cameron's Avatar came out, it was critically acclaimed. And I don't know the exact mark, but I think that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, guys. And the CGI, the technology has progressed since then. And honestly, it's in the Warcraft movie. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that it's at the top. It's at the peak of its performance here. CGI is looking better than it ever has before, and yet people are still criticizing it. Why? I do not understand. I just don't get that criticism. I mean, maybe they think that it just looks too... Maybe they've watched it in a lower quality video on YouTube, and you're not really going to get the full glory until you see it in that 2K, 4K rendered image that you see in the theaters or on the Blu-ray disc. But I mean, there are a couple of YouTube videos out there that have, I think it's 2K renderings of the actual trailers, and they look really good to me. And I'm going to put this picture on the screen here, guys. This is one of the most controversial... I can't say that fucking word. Pictures that's been talked about here. It's the picture of Durotan, and I really the thing is for me, guys, I see in this CGI you can see muscle textures, veins. You can see peach fuzz, hair follicles, sweat, gloss from the eyes. It's just, how can you possibly think that it's not good enough? I just don't get it. And again, I really want to understand that criticism, but maybe most of those people are trolling, or they just want the movie to fail for whatever reason, because, they're chapped fuckers that don't want the Warcraft movie to succeed. And that's definitely possible. You do have that community for every single movie or game or whatever it may be. You just have those jaded people who want it to fail for no reason other than they just want it to fail and they want people to be unhappy, and that's fine. Like, I get it, those people exist. But surely there's got to be at least one person out there that thinks that the CGI is bad, has a logical reason behind it. But I just don't get the criticism, especially criticizing it before the movies actually come out. I really do not understand. So if you can explain that better to me, go right ahead, because I really want to know why that would even be a thought in someone's head when watching a trailer for this movie. Okay, so moving on here to my next talking point, next big criticism. This one I can understand a lot more than those CGI criticisms. And this one is the canon lore. People are really, really worried that, the lore is not going to be the same. This movie's not going to be canon, and I don't know if Blizzard's gone on record yet to say that this is canon, but I really doubt it, guys. This is a theatrical interpretation of Warcraft and everything it represents. Honestly, I don't think there's been one single rendition out there that hasn't changed something for theatrical reasons. You look at the Harry Potter movies, you look at the Divergent movies, the Hunger Games movies, the Twilight movies, and the list goes on. The list really does. It goes on, guys. Those are just the ones that I can think of at the top of my head. And you have fangirls and fanboys for miles around saying, the books were so much better, or, the other thing was so much better. And guys, obviously it was better. Are you shitting me? This is a movie. There's no possible way that you can fit every single tidbit into a movie. I'm pretty sure that Duncan Jones has said that this movie has an over 2-hour runtime, which is lengthy and awesome. I'm really happy that it has an over 2-hour runtime. I'm really excited about that. But even so, you still can't get everything into this movie, guys. I've had people say, Duncan Jones is planning a 3-part series if this movie is successful, so he needs our support in this first one. But people are thinking, okay, so the movies are going to be about Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. No, I really do not think so, because anyone who's played Warcraft 3 knows that the story of that game is so bloody expansive that 3 movies alone probably wouldn't do it justice, honestly. I mean, I hope that this series goes that far to where we do have movies based on storylines of Warcraft 3. I really do, but that's yet to be seen because this is the first movie interpretation of the Warcraft universe, guys. So, anyway, I'm derailing a little bit here. People are criticizing the lore in the movie. They're seeing things in the trailer that they're just flipping tables and shit, saying, "Oh fuck, this isn't gonna be accurate to the lore. Oh, Garona isn't half human, half orc, half Draenei. She's half orc, half human. Oh no." And there's a number of things. Dalaran's floating. Oh fuck, what do we do? And I do get these criticisms, but here's my opinion on the topic. As long as the major important things that make the story genuine and what it is still happen, they just might happen a little bit differently. Like, they might oh god, I can't think of the way to say it. If everything major still happens, but they just happen, they get there a little bit differently, that's fine. I mean, spoilers here, if you don't want to hear this, but it's kind of like 20 years coming, so if you don't know this, then GG. At the end of the movie, I'm assuming that Stormwind's going to get sacked, because that's what happens in the storyline. King Lane gets assassinated by Garona, and Stormwind City falls. Now, a lot of people are really upset, because in the trailer, it seems like, this was the first trailer release, mind you, that Lothar is looking over a dead King Lane. He pulls over the armor, and it's really royal looking, so everyone's assuming it's King Lane, and I mean, I think so too. And there's a dagger in the neck, and I mean, come on, it's got to be Garona's dagger, guys. There's no way. And the criticism is that this in the background doesn't look like it's in Stormwind, and it might not be, but again, I really feel like King Lane still gets assassinated, Stormwind still falls. He doesn't get assassinated in Stormwind. Big whoop, like, big deal, guys. You have to remember that this movie, not only is it for the fans, but it has to appeal to the masses for it to be successful, and for them to move on to a second and third movie like Duncan Jones has planned. And I really feel that such a big fan of Warcraft that he is, that he's made these decisions because he truly believes that it will lead to the success of the movie. And I mean, we won't know that until 3 months from now, and it's released, and we're all fanboying and fangirling over it. So and then Dalaran's floating. It's not supposed to be floating yet. Not for a long time. That one I'm kind of am curious about too. Like, what's going on with that? And I mean, again, if the end result's still the same, it doesn't really bother me personally, because we all have to remember that it's a movie, guys. It's not going to be exact. It's really not. And I think, what was the other criticism? It was Garona, the assassination. Everyone's thinking that stuff's not going to happen in the right order and stuff like. Oh, one of the funny ones that I've heard, and this one made me laugh. One of my friends is like, "This is bullshit, man. Why is Khadgar so young and he's got black hair? This is bullshit. In the games, he has white hair." And that's just an ill-informed criticism, because as most of you know that are lore savvy, Khadgar was young once upon a time. And in this point in time, this is right before he has the altercation with Medivh, and gets turned into an old man. So he's still, in this movie, I don't know if we're going to see him get turned into that old man, but he's still young, he's still learning his magic, he's very clumsy, but very smart at the same time. So, I don't know, that's hilarious. The other hilarious criticism I heard about the lore is, oh no, they're not showing Arthas, they're not showing Lich King, they're not showing Illidan, and all these major lore characters, this movie's gonna fail. It's like, guys, okay, Arthas was a child during these events, so he'll probably be in the movie, but he's not gonna be the Lich King in the movie, he's not gonna be the Prince Arthas, the teenage prince in this movie. And Illidan is alive in this movie, but guys, this movie's not about fucking Illidan. It's not. I'm sorry. I love Illidan too, but it's not about him. So a lot of the criticism seems to be very ill-informed and just ignorant, and I really, it's unfortunate because you can't really do a whole lot for those people. You can't really sit them down and say, okay, well, this is what happens and that's what happens, because a lot of them don't want to hear it because their favorite characters didn't make it into the fucking movie. Um, and then another thing that I'm hearing lore-based is like, oh, where's the Taurens? Where's the Trolls? Where's the Gnomes? And honestly, the only things that I know that have been confirmed that we're going to see in the movie is we're going to see High Elves, we're going to see humans, we're going to see dwarves, we're going to see orcs, and I believe somewhere someone thinks we're going to see night elves, but I can't confirm that one yet. Anything else, honestly, is icing on the cake to me personally. I think that they're keeping it pretty faithful to Warcraft 2, because it's what the movie's really about. And we didn't really hear much about those other amazing races until Warcraft 3. Not much, honestly. Maybe I need to brush up on my knowledge a little bit, but I don't think we saw any of those other races in those games, but I could be wrong, because it has been years. So again, guys, for the lore, I really think that it's shitty that some things aren't happening the way that they did, but as long as the end result is the same, I'm really not going to be upset. And that's, if you're going to be upset and you found more plot holes in the movie already, please comment down below, because I would like to see what's going on in other people's minds and what their opinions are. Okay, so now the third biggest criticism that I've heard for this film is the director, Duncan Jones. The criticism is that he's only directed like petty, like really small projects, and he's had one major motion picture, which was Source Code, and I very much enjoyed Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. It came out some years back. I'm not really sure when. I enjoyed it before I even knew who Duncan Jones was, to be honest with you, but that's my pleb opinion. Do not be tainted by it. If you want to see Source Code, go check it out. It's a pretty decent movie. Okay, so they think that he's a novice director and he's not right for the role. Okay, guys, one thing that you have to remember is that this movie has been rumored for, I think it's going on 8 to 10 years. It's been a rumor. And that we've had people step up. I believe it was there was someone before him that stepped up, and Blizzard said, no, we don't want to sell the rights to you, especially not you, because we need someone who will take good care of this movie. And then Sam Raimi was slotted for the movie, which I don't remember what all he's directed. I know he directed the newer Oz movie, but he was slotted to direct it, and then he decided he didn't want to do it. He just wanted to focus on Oz, and then they kind of just dropped him. And that pushed the movie back a couple of years. And I'm not exactly sure all what happened to make Duncan Jones slotted for it, but I do know these facts here, guys. Duncan Jones has played the games, all of them, to my knowledge, all the Warcraft ones, and he's been a fan, and this movie's essentially being directed by a fan. I mean, can you guys really ask for anything more awesome? Would you rather some director who just wants a paycheck to direct this movie? I mean, really, seriously, just ask yourself that for a second. Let's all be happy that a fan is directing this movie. Now, that's not the only fan that's a part of the movie, guys. Blizzard themselves are working with Duncan Jones and Legendary Pictures to make this happen. Chris Metzen himself is a co-producer of the movie. Now, Chris Metzen is a poster child for Blizzard, and he gets a lot of criticism for Green Jesus and, making Thrall way too over the top and retconning lore, this, that, and the other, but Chris Metzen really does care about the universe, and I think we can all agree on that at least, even though sometimes he is shitty about being straight on lore, because he's a big lore creator. So Chris Metzen's on board for it, and then that's not even the icing on the cake, guys. That's not even the tip of the iceberg, if I meant to say. The person playing Robert Kaczynski, person playing Orgrim Doomhammer, is a avid World of Warcraft player. He's a huge fan, and when he got the role, guys, he was ecstatic. I mean, you can see he's done a few interviews already, and in one, I believe, on the Late Night Show or on Conan, I think it was Conan O'Brien, he said that World of Warcraft saved his life. He said that there's some bad that came from it, and also a lot more good that came from it, and to hear that from someone that's going to play a character in the Warcraft movie, I mean, that has me really excited, really does. And that, I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot more than that, guys. I can't speak so much for the other actors in the movie, but I'm sure that this is being handled with such care. There are you know, the people that are producing the CGI, the people doing the soundtrack. That's another thing I wanted to touch up on mildly here, is that on all the trailers we really haven't heard the in-movie music, which I get it. I get why they're doing that. They're doing that because they want it to appeal to the masses. They want to make it look action-packed and amazing and like a summer blockbuster. But I really, truly hope that we're going to hear some stuff that players will recognize, you know, some of those old Warcraft themes of war, of Stormwind, the, you know, the Horde themes. I am just thinking about it gets me giddy to hear that music, you know, the rendition of that music in a theatrical movie. Obviously, it's not going to be the exact same as you hear it in the game, but I'm sure that it will be very close, or it will be very reminiscent of what we already know. And another thing, I just have some kind of miscellaneous contents here, guys. That was one of them, the music. But those are my three major talking points. I'm sorry, let me wrap that up really quick. It was the CGI, the lore, and Duncan Jones, the director. Those are the three major criticisms that I wanted to talk about. Now, what was my next miscellaneous thing? Okay. Another reason why Duncan Jones is fucking amazing is that I mean, obviously the movie has a heavy amount of CGI in it, guys, but he chose to use as much practical sets as possible. And I know for a fact that he's gone on the record to say that. I just don't know where. I don't know if it was Twitter, some other form of social media, or if it was in an interview. But I do know that he said, you know, word of mouth, that he chose to use practical sets because he felt that it would make the movie look better, it'd be more faithful to the universe. And again, he posts pictures of the set up on his Twitter, and what we've seen so far is just it's fantastic, guys. Stormwind Keep, there's like a city district in Stormwind City, and you can even like pull out little details in that image, guys. The mailbox looks as it does in game in Stormwind City. So, I mean, if that doesn't get you excited, what will? What will? And then he even posted an Easter egg that he pointed out that it was an Easter egg, but there's a wanted poster in the movie, and it has a, oh god, what are they fucking called? One of those little knoll things, I can't even think of the name now. It's got an enemy from Warcraft, the take candle guy, a kobold. There's a kobold on it, and I think that's amazing. I think that's hilarious. There's actually another picture from the set that has a board, and it's got a bunch of posts on it, and it has like the Dark Moon Fair on it. It has a wanted poster for Hogger on it, I believe, and it's got other Warcraft things that players are used to, and it's reminiscent of the game. And I just it gets me really excited that they're putting that much detail into the movie, because a lot of these major blockbusters that come out, especially the superhero ones, guys, I'm sorry superhero fans, but especially the superhero movies like the Avengers, and they use a lot of CGI backdrops, a heavy amount. And I know I'm not saying that there's going to be absolutely zero CGI backdrops in Warcraft, because obviously there is, but the fact that they're using a lot of built up practical sets is amazing. Tangible sets that you can walk around and just put yourself as the actor into the Warcraft universe. That's amazing to me. That shows that the director truly does care. He really does. Now, another closing thought here. The actor that plays Anduin Lothar, I'm really happy with. A lot of people are. He's commonly known as Ragnar Lothbrok in Vikings, the series, which I adore that series. It's honestly one of my guilty pleasures. I love Vikings. In Vikings, I feel that the actor shows a heavy range of emotions, and I think he's most hilarious when he has awkward scenes. So to have him put into the role of Anduin Lothar, I think it's very fitting, because the way Lothar is described in in I think it's called the Last Guardian book, and then the other book, it's like it's oh my god, what's it called? It's the name of the Warcraft 2 expansion. It's like Beyond the Dark Portal, I believe, or something like that. And it the book has Anduin's it has his inner thoughts, as his expressions, it has how he acts around other characters in there, and it just it sounds fantastic. So I just Yeah, I'm really happy with that casting choice. I don't really know how I feel about Paula Patton playing Garona. I mean, she looks good in the costume, but her performance is gonna show whether or not she's any good. You haven't seen a whole lot of Ben Foster in the I don't think we've seen any Ben Foster as Medivh in the trailers. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I was pretty happy with that casting choice, because for some reason when I heard Ben Foster's in the Warcraft movie, I was like, why not? Because he's not a bad actor. I've never seen a movie that I didn't like him in, so I'm not too concerned about that one. But yeah, I think all of that wraps up most of my miscellaneous thoughts about the movie, guys. It's a topic that it's been on my mind lately because of the new trailers and buzz that are finally happening over the movie, and it's just. I really feel like a lot of these criticisms, especially the earlier ones, are just not really fair, or they're ignorant, and my opinion, again, could be clouded by the fact that I have been a fan for going on 15 years or something ludicrous like that. So I grew up with Warcraft. I absolutely adore it. And I'm very much open to criticism. I want to hear why people think the movie's going to flop. And I really am getting a little bit tired of these trolly comments, just saying, Warcraft sucks, dislike, Trump 2016. It's like, what? Just tell me why. Tell me why you think the movie's going to be bad. Give me a valid reason, and I will listen to your criticism. I really want to hear a counter argument. I want to hear a reverse criticism, because I do think this movie is going to be good, and I really feel that Duncan Jones deserves our backing and our support as the Warcraft fans, to show that we believe in him, that this movie will make it, and very much hype up sequels for the movie. And maybe I don't think that the sequels for this movie will be Warcraft 3 storylines. I really don't. I think it will be Beyond the Dark Portal and finishing up the story of what's going to transpire here right before Warcraft 3. Maybe a little bit into Warcraft 3. But to say that one movie could possibly represent Warcraft 3 is insane, unless that movie is like 7 hours long. So those are my closing thoughts about the Warcraft movie, guys. And please, if you think otherwise, comment below, or if you agree, just say fuck yeah, mate, and post it. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed my little rant here, and hopefully this series gets pushed a little bit more moving forward, because I do have a lot of raw thoughts that I would love to talk about. A lot of them video game related, obviously. So if you did enjoy the content, guys, please drop a like. It does help me out a lot. And if you like the content on my channel, consider subbing if you would. And this has been Reji's Rants, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Hey guys, it's Reg. I just want to say that I will continue to bring you all quality content. Make sure to show me some support by dropping a like or a sub if you're new. If you have any requests, let me know. I am very interactive with my community, and thank you all for your support. Imitate, flirt. What the fuck? You wiggle your hips and wiggles back. Oh my god, this is very interesting. Okay. Pretty simple. I have to see what this says. Didn't you read the sign downstairs? There was a sign downstairs.